Welcome, everyone, to Atlanta Motor Speedway. The Championship 8 begins for the HTL Cup Series. 3 races remain until we crown a champion for Season 6. It's racing, it's Monday nights, it's AVN, presenting HTL Cup Series coverage all the way through the rest of the season. Welcome to a little blast from the past. Old Atlanta on the docket. Last time we were here, it was a championship finale. Similar stakes are on the line here tonight. The opening of the Championship 8 comes up next. Welcome, everyone, to the showcase as we get ready to go. Qualifying underway, and it is a very busy time for everyone involved here as we get closer and closer to the start of race time here in Atlanta. We're glad to have you with us here for the Coulters Cards 400. Glad to have Coulters Cards on board for this event as well. The Championship 8 is here. The 8 drivers marked in gold are ready to go and fight for a championship over the next 3 weeks. John Hagan, Tucker Sawyer, David Smith Jr., race winners from the round of 16. They're alongside Hunter Peach, Josh Susie, the 2-time defending champion, Jeremy Braille, Josh Arnold, and Shad Slotsworth. Level points across the board for the top 8, 4,000 points even. No playoff points carrying over from the round of 16. So everyone has a fair shot over these next 3 weeks. Atlanta, Bristol next week, Kentucky, the finale on July 21st. Those in red, Eli Sasek leading the bunch, eliminated from the round of 16. Lily Sharp missing out as well. Mark Kissenweather, the Rookie of the Year, missing out. Looking further on down the order, yeah, Blake Henderson, Kyle Taub, Caitlin Height, who missed out, Josh Gaiman. And then those in blue that missed the playoffs altogether. Zach Meredith has had an amazing run of form. If he was in the playoffs, he would be a threat. But instead, he is on the outside looking in. Best of the rest right now in 17th place. Dean Clavitt in 18th. And some who's who's. Alfred Denny, who had a really good race in Fontana a week ago. Top 24 for him at the moment. A little bit further down the order, some of the drivers that have been more on the part-time side of things as we get ready to go racing here in Atlanta. 15 drivers set lap times so far. One of the drivers that have yet to set a lap time at the moment is that of Dustin Hall. Team Conti's own has not had a season to remember. Back when this track was part of the season, or part of the calendar regularly, Dustin Hall was a machine here in Atlanta. Hoping to have a little bit of that fire here tonight. See what his lap time looks like here. Only 1 lap for HTL Cup Series drivers. Set a lap time for qualifying. Casey Wygent and the new second Josho Racing machine. Currently top of the board. Dustin Hall goes 5th fastest. Caitlin Height starting a lap now in that OnlyFans number 3, missing out on the Championship 8. Only 1 Championship 8 driver in the top 10 right now. That is Tucker Sawyer. Those marked in gold are in the Championship 8 conversation right now. Shout out to Coulters Cards once again supporting the series as Caitlin Height goes for a slide, and qualifying is going to mean nothing for the 17-time race winner. So she will start from the back. Callie Height also tags the wall. 2 OnlyFans cars, a 3 and the 88. Callie Height tagged the wall and will come to a stop. So both Callie and Caitlin Height will start near the back of the field. Zach Meredith, though, on a qualifying run. See what he can put together in that 17. He has been a rocket ship. The these last few races. 29.753, 752 is enough for just 11th place. Misses out on the top 10 by a little bit. It is Pacey Wygent and Jonathan Adams currently top of the board. Hunter Peach, 29.646. That puts Peach in 6th, puts him as the best qualified playoff driver so far. The other playoff driver in the mix now, getting ready to start a run. It is Josh Arnold. With less than 3 minutes to go in qualifying as things sit. Between 2 cars set lap time so far. Caitlin Height and Callie Height attempted, will not set a lap time. Neither will Jeremy Braille. So those 3 starting in the back of the field. Does anyone join them? Austin Mongold will join them, and so will Josh Gaiman. Josh Arnold, 29.643. That goes 6th fastest. So a pocket of playoff drivers. They are in the top 10, 6th, 7th, and 8th. Davis Mills Jr. on a qualifying run now as well. Let's see what he can do. Winner last week in Fontana. Breaking through the ice in the best of ways. Davis Mills Jr. 29.885. Not a great lap time for Smeal. 21st fastest. What can his teammate do? Josh Susi on the line. 68 starts tonight. 4 career poles, 12 wins, and an incredible top 5 and top 10 record for the 2-time defending champion. And he will tag the wall at turn 4, and that will end his qualifying run. It's a trouble for Josh Susi. And he will not set a qualifying time as a result. Pacey Wygent, someone who has been successful in the HTL Cup Series. His stat line, bottom left of your screen, 37 career starts tonight. Former HTL Truck Series champion in the Cup Series, 4 career poles, 2 career wins, 11 top 5s, and 20 top 10s in those 36 starts leading into tonight. He'll have a 5th career pole here tonight, joining Tucker Sawyer for Joe Show Racing. We didn't get a chance to see that car on the racetrack in qualifying. We'll see it later on once we get closer to race time. Six cars failed to set a qualifying lap time. Austin Mongold, Caitlin Height, Josh Gaiman, Josh Susi, Callie Height, and Jimmy Braille will start from the back of the field. That is going to be a while time. Meanwhile, John Hagan and Davis Mills Jr., 2 of the faster drivers typically at the intermediates, have their work cut out for them. They start 21st and 23rd, not comfortable on the old bumpy Atlanta surface. This is nowhere close to what we ran earlier in the season. A lot different going into tonight. It is Toyotas on the front row. Toyotas all over the place in the top 5. 3 Toyotas, 2 Chevrolets in the top 5. 4 Toyotas in the top 6 as we get ready to go. Again, welcome everyone to the Coulters Cards 400 here at Atlanta. 3 races to go in the season, including tonight. We're happy you're here for the ride, so let's get into it. We'll step aside for a word from the setup provider of the HTL Cup Series. We'll break down what we're looking at here in Atlanta. Welcome back, everyone, to nearly showtime in Atlanta. Old Atlanta on the screen here, bottom left of your screen. Some information about this track in its history in HTL. 1.54 miles. The track length has not changed through the years. However, the profiling has. 24 degrees of banking in all four corners, turns 1, 2, 3, and 4. It has been in the series before. It was part of both season 1 and season 2. It was the season finale for those seasons before we entered the playoff era of the HTL Cup Series. This is the first time Old Atlanta has been a part of the HTL Cup playoffs, and it's in the Championship 8. Frankie Barroso won here in season 1 to become the inaugural HTL Cup Series champion back in season 1. Chad Flossworth won here in season 2. That was the season that Matthew Boone took the title. Dustin Hall has the record here, 30.710. That was all the way back in season 1 years ago. We're going to see that record get shattered here tonight. Stages, pretty straightforward. Lap 40 and lap 100 here in Atlanta. Pit speed, 45 miles an hour, very important. And fuel mileage, you can get 47 to 49 laps on a tank of fuel. Tires are critical at this juncture. We saw that in Fontana a week ago, how important the tire wear and managing that was. This is a tire grinder. This is the intermediate version of Dover in many respects in terms of how it grinds the tires away, especially on the right sides, and makes the car tighten up as the run goes along. Those that burn through the tires the quickest will have the biggest problems going into the longer runs tonight. The new changes to this Gen 7 Cup car have given the drivers fits, though. 11 cautions last week in Fontana, 9 cautions in Las Vegas. Everyone hoping for some more calm and collected racing tonight. However, looking at how qualifying has gone, with 6 drivers crashing out in qualifying, it seems like we may have a little bit more of a similar situation coming up here tonight in Hampton, Georgia. Prior to that change to the Gen 7 cars last month, the average rate of cautions was 3.4. So it's obvious that these drivers were not expecting as much of a curveball as what we have seen from these Cup cars. As we mentioned, after tonight, only 2 races left in the HTL Cup Series season. It is the BFL night race at Bristol on July 14th, next Monday night, and then the championship finale July 21st at Kentucky Speedway. ABN's backyard welcomes HTL to finish its season in the Bluegrass State. Huge shout out to Coulters Cards. Sponsored a race earlier this season, and we're glad they're back to sponsor another one, this time in Atlanta, HTL's backyard. This is HTL's home track. Much like with Go Time cards we saw last week in Fontana, Coulters Cards, if you're a card collector, ranging from wrestling, whether it's WWE or AEW, NFL, NBA, MLB, NCAA, NASCAR, and more. If you're looking for Coulters Cards, likely has it. If you're looking to complete a set, or if you're looking to start up for the first time, use the QR code bottom left of your screen to begin that process tonight. And likewise, if you're one of the many drivers that are struggling with these changes to the Gen 7 Cup cars, or if you're struggling in the Xfinity car, the Truck Series, ARCA, the new Gen 4s that came out last month, the QR code bottom of your screen sends you directly to the Team Conti Center Performance. Michael Conti, one of the all-time greats in NASCAR competition history, and his team working non-stop to improve and help drivers across the board, whether it's been setups, coaching, driver development. That QR code has you covered. They're the official setup sponsor, the setup provider of the HTL Cup Series, all the way to the season finale in Kentucky. We're glad they're on board. These drivers have definitely needed all the help they can get to get used to these cars so far. So let's get into the starting grid here in Atlanta. It's going to be a wild time. Starting grid, bottom of your screen. It is Pacey Wygant and Jonathan Adams on the front row. to get this race started. Pacey Wygent, first race as a part of the new team, filled in a couple races earlier in the season, but now back in the 96 car. Jonathan Adams alongside him. Toyota's on that front row, locking it out. Dale Markowski, rookie of row 2, highest place rookie in the field. Kyle Taub to his outside makes up that row. And then it's Bryn Roberts, Markowski's teammate, in row 3 alongside the highest qualifying championship 8 driver, Josh Arnold. On repeat to Tucker Sawyer, it's an all playoff driver, row number 4, and it's all Toyotas in that row as well. Justin Hall, great qualifying effort, 9th place, ahead of Mark Kissenweather. Ross Baxter and Patrick Oberstadt make up row number 6. Teammates there for Carolina Beagle Racing, all 4 cars in the top 12. Zach Meredith and Eli Sasek make up row 7. Meredith had a great run in Fontana. Qualifying's been lacking. Let's see if he can pick it up here in the Peach State. Tyler Ratliff, second career top 10 last week in Fontana. Trying to pick up that momentum here. He starts to the inside of Shaq Blocksworth, who won here back in season 2. Bailey Thompson missed out on making the championship 8. We'll start in row 9 alongside Elias Flores. Zach Apperson missing out on a great run as well. Spinning out late in Fontana, starts alongside Blake Henderson, who had a miserable round of 16. Maybe being out of the playoffs now will help the 25 shake those bad luck blues. They're in row 10. Davisfield Jr. qualified 21st, really low for the winner last week. He starts alongside Dean Clavitt. Both of them were top 5 in California. John Hagan and Alfred Denny make up row number 12. Lowest qualifying position for John Hagan that has not been a crash out in qualifying. He starts 23rd. Josh Searcy and Caitlin Height did not set qualifying times. They crashed out in qualifying, as did Jeremy Brayout and Callie Height. Keep an eye on both those OnlyFans cars. They typically excel here when the tire wear is at a premium. Both of them on the outsides of row 13 and 14. The last row of the field, Josh Gaiman and Austin Mongold will complete the 30-car field here tonight. "30 cars, 8 drivers fighting for a championship, 22 looking to play spoiler." Front row, non-playoff drivers. First playoff driver is in the 6th spot, Josh Arnold. It is Pacey Wygent, the all-black number 96, alongside Ascent Racing's Jonathan Adams, who was pole sitter last week in Fontana. Pace car pulls down pit lane. Green flag flies in the Coulters car. 400 is underway, and Tucker Sawyer gets spun immediately. And the caution is out immediately. Swadsworth involved. Trying to see who all was involved. Elias Flores, Shad Swadsworth involved. Caution on the opening lap. Nightmare there for Tucker Sawyer. Let's take a look at what happened. Pace car pulls off here. Let's see if we can get a high above view to see what happened to the 95 of Sawyer from the chopper cam in full time. Does he wheel spin? Yes, he does. Both him and Josh Arnold both wheel spun. Sawyer just had the worst of it. Collects Elias Flores and Swadsworth, not realizing Sawyer was rolling. Tags him and spins around again. So we'll try that one more time. We'll do it in slow motion here. Let's take a little bit closer. Green flag flies. Arnold gets a little bit of wheel spin. Everyone's starting in as low as the gear as possible. Veterans will know that first gear, not the way you want to start. Tucker Sawyer, though, his first season in stock car racing has not been kind. He clips the 18 of Swansworth. It looks like Flores gets turned off the nose of Henderson, trying to check up for that. And everyone else gets through pretty well unscathed. Two playoff drivers involved early in the opening lap melee coming to the green flag. And for the inexperienced, that's where you start in second gear. If you are experienced, you know that you basically do a bunny hop on the gas pedal and shift the second gear immediately. That way you get the good launch and then you get the revs to get into it. Tucker Sawyer did not have that. He just tried to floor it in first gear and it didn't work. And he's got some work to do, and this puts his Championship 8 ambitions on the back burner pretty quickly. So we will rack him up and try again. Not many positions changed hands on that opening run until you get further down the order. So it'll be Pacey Wygant, Jonathan Adams once again. And then Kyle Talbot had a better restart than Dale Markowski. They'll flop sides of the lanes there. Kyle Talbot will start inside row 2, and Markowski will move to the outside row 2. All right, so let's give this another go, shall we? Not the start they wanted, it's the start they got. First caution in the books. Remember, we had 11 in Fontana, we had 9 in Vegas 3 weeks ago. So let's see what they can do. Coming to the restart here on lap number 5. Again, those marked in gold on the tower are in the Championship 8. Those in blue are not. I see a lot of them in the bottom 10. If 5 of the 8 Championship 8 drivers are in the bottom 10, that's terrifying early on here in Atlanta. The pace car will try again, taking the hard left on the pit lane. And Wygant will lead the field to green once again. Green flag flies. Do we see the lap under green? That's a question being asked now. Soaring through turns 1 and 2 at speed. And the answer to that question is yes, we are going to see some green flag racing here. How much, though, is the question. Some drivers struggling early. Cold tires, these tires getting up the temperature. Will not take long here in the hot summer heat in Atlanta. Everyone rolling around in the outside lane, seemingly providing dealer's choice for those in front of the field. Hunter Peets looks to the inside of Kyle Taub. And your highest running Championship 8 driver right now is trying to move into 3rd place. Will do so. Clears Taub. Toyotas 1, 2, 3, and 4. Your best Chevrolet is that of Bryn Roberts in the top 5. In 5th, Dustin Hall in 7th. Your best 4. It is pandemonium a little bit further back, though. That is David Smeal Jr. on the inside lane. Outside lane, almost on the fence, was Tyler Ratliff and the 4 of Zach Apperson. And trouble for Ross Baxter. He goes for a wild spin through the grass. Keeps it rolling. We stay green. A little loose there out of turn 4. A little trouble further back, and that is for, I have to double check here. That was Swatsworth that got loose out of 2. He drops down to 28. Complete lap number 8, and we start lap 9. Bryn Roberts trying to get into the top 3. He's getting around Kyle Taub right now. So Kyle Taub struggling inside and outside. He's been passed on both lanes. Got past the inside by Peach, got past the outside by Bryn Roberts. Bryn Roberts 2 wins this season, 1 in Atlanta, repaved, refreshed Atlanta, and then also won earlier in the season. Caution has come out. You saw the spin further back in the running order, and it is Apperson this time. We noticed him get loose on the outside lane a couple laps ago. He is all the way around in that Red Bull number 4 to draw the second caution of the night here on lap 10. Looks like Eli Sasek had a piece of it as well. So let's take a look. All right, so here's what happened here on your screen. Kind of looking back here, we'll rewind it here and see if we can get a good old chopper cam. We can. So let's give it a go here. This is in the turn 3 and 4. Coming around to complete lap 9 for these drivers. Sasek gets loose on his own. Gets a nudge, it looks like, by Apperson, who's trying to avoid it. Once again, the 4 and the 25 teammates there for Tombstone interacting in a negative way. Anderson finishes Apperson off and sends Apperson for a ride. He almost goes up and over, almost blows over when he hits the grass there. Luckily doesn't. Big time avoidance there for everybody, including David Jr. And everyone thankfully avoids making that situation any worse. Apperson, not a lot of damage on that 4 car, so he should be all right as well. And that bails out Ross Baxter, who had his spin earlier that did not result in the yellow. Apperson getting some of that work done to get that nose uncaved. Most of the field staying out here on the second caution of the race. Not a lot of green flag laps being run so far here in Atlanta. As we mentioned before, stage 1 ends on lap 40. There's no stage breaks all the way through the rest of the season. So lap 40, unless a caution comes out on its own within the last 5 laps of the stage, stage will go all the way to lap 40 and then stage 2 on lap 100. These drivers know that they can go through the full first stage without making a pit stop here. I would assume, though, if we get another caution about lap 20, lap 25, we'll see some takers from the front of the field to come down pit lane and get onto a different sequence. Similar to what we saw at Darlington a month ago. So we get ready to go back racing for our second restart of the night on lap 14. We have had unfortunately more caution laps to start this race than racing laps. We've had 6 laps of racing. We'll have 8 laps of caution. Sorry, 7 laps of caution when we complete this one. It is Wygant, Peach, Roberts, Taub, Markowski, and Kissenweather, your top 6. Dustin Hall in 7th, Patrick Oberstadt in 8th, Billy Thompson in 9th, Zach Meredith rounds out your top 10 as things stand. Pace car takes the sharp turn to pit lane, and Pacey Wygant leads us to green for the 3rd time tonight. Only 1 car off the track at the moment, and that would be that of Tucker Sawyer. Tucker Sawyer actually back on the racetrack. He's just 9 laps down, the only one off the lead lap. Similar to Caitlin Height last week. See what Tucker Sawyer can do to get those laps back. Very slow start here in Atlanta. These drivers getting a little bit antsy. I saw a little bit of movement further back in the running order. I think around Alfred Denny's where I saw it, and it was. And a huge smack of the fence to Shad Swatsworth. Swatsworth hard in defense. Pancake the wall coming through the tri-oval. That was a painful hit for Swatsworth. He drops down to 29th place. Seathoker Sawyer just behind him there, 9 laps down, trying to stay out of the way. Swatsworth was 3 wide and just ran out of real estate quickly. Now he's at the back of the field, and he's going to be struggling in this stage. You do not want that sort of damage on a long run if we get one. So now he's hoping for a third caution to be quick and fast on that. There is Tyler Ratliff outside battling with Blake Henderson. Henderson racing at his home racetrack. Towards the bottom of the racetrack behind Dustin Hall. 3 wide in front of them. And it narrows down. Meredith side by side right now with John Hagan. Hagan right now up into 9th place. Remember, he started 21st. So Hagan on the chart. Car loose, car really loose. It's Eli Sasek. Similar to what Ross Baxter did earlier in this race, Sasek does the same thing, and he's going to get loose again. He's going to avoid spinning through pit lane. But Sasek struggling big time. His postseason lows continue even after being eliminated from the playoffs. Top 6 though under a blanket. Here comes Bren Roberts. He'll lead lap number 17, lap 18. Ahead of Pacey Wygent, your pole sitter, who had led every lap leading up to that lap. So Roberts now officially with 1 lap led. Wygent not letting it go easily. And Roberts, so outside lane is the dealer's choice, as we mentioned earlier. Just how comfortable do you feel running it? Right on board here with the 96 of Wygent. Following the 8 of Roberts. Ahead right now of Hunter Peach and Mark Kissenweather. That's the view from the back of the 96 car. Bit of an out-of-body experience. I was in that car for part of the season this year. Just racing, picking up that 96 car when ABM began broadcasting HTL races again. And now you have a former champion of the HTL Cup Series out here doing what I couldn't do with that car. And doing a good job so far. Pole position number 5 of the season for Wygent. He's lost 1 spot though. Here comes Kissenweather on the inside lane. Trying to go from 4th to 2nd in 1 lap. John Hagan through the grass. He got really loose out of turn 4. And he'll hemorrhage spots. From the top 10, he was battling for 8th place. He'll drop down almost to 16th. He will drop down to 16th, getting passed by Bailey Thompson there. So Hagan not comfy right now. For the first time in a while, we've seen Hagan be genuinely unsettled on the racetrack here. Typically, it's been either an unforced error just because of a lapse of concentration or a lapse of judgment, or he's had a technical issue. He is genuinely on a skill level struggling right now tonight, and he's got to get stuff put back together in the 97 car. Kissenweather up to 2nd, challenging for your race lead. He has saved a little bit of tire early on, and he is using that to full effect right now to try to challenge for the race win. Mark Kissenweather will pull his stats up here. 3 race wins this season, had an abysmal round of 16, DNF'd all but 1 race in the round of 16 and missed out. But that line, I mean, doesn't lie. 3 wins, 9 top 5s, 11 top 10s, half the starts. He was in contention He's in contention here. Markowski also doing pretty decent at the moment, in the top 5 still. That's where he started. Battling that is Zach Meredith. Looking at the moment as you watch this battle for 5th unfold, and it might be in the favor of Zach Meredith, the former series champion. Smothers got into that race lead and is trying to pull away. Struggles further back in the running order still. Trouble for Dean Clavitt, still green. But Clavitt has had some significant problems here. And it's not his first issue. I think we've got a couple of these queued up here. Some of these drivers struggling. We do have a caution, and it is in the front of the field. I think that's Braille. It is Braille that's come to a spinning stop on the front straightaway. Braille trying to get rolling. He's got some significant damage on the back of that 74 car. Some significant damage there. So caution comes out, but it seems like we've had a lot of near misses on having a yellow come out. Flores involved in this one as well. So what happens here? We see Braille already spun around. And what happens? Does he get loose on his own? 100% he does. Backing it up all the way to entry at turn 3 and 4. Just gets loose, snaps loose, snaps loose, snaps loose. Oh, gets jammed by Josh Susie. That's what happened. So it wasn't Flores that got into him, it was Susie that jammed right into the back of him. So playoff drivers struggling in mass. That is 4 playoff drivers involved in issues early on in this race tonight. Issues for Swatsworth, issues for Tucker Sawyer, and now issues for both Josh Susie and for Jeremy Braille. That is half of the Championship 8 struggling in the early going hours of the Championship 8. See if we can get a replay here from Josh Susie's onboard is what we're looking for here. See if we get an onboard here from Josh Susie. We'll back it up a little bit. This is the onboard for Susie. Did not start well, did not set a qualifying time tonight. Huge impact there. That is as square as you can get it, but that is a horrible impact. So trouble for playoff drivers. You see 5 of them in the bottom 5. Davis Mule Jr., Shad Swatsworth, Josh Susie, Jeremy Braille, Tucker Sawyer, all struggling. Josh Arnold not having a great night either. He is in 19th position. Only 2 Championship 8 drivers right now in the top 10. Hunter Peach, your best driver of the bunch. John Hagan in 9th right now. That is a huge ordeal. Championship 8 drivers for the most part did not come prepared. Hunter Peach has looked the most competitive of the group. John Hagan, he's got some pace, but he is not comfortable right now in that 97 car. It is shown. He's had issues early as well. He's just gotten away with them. Be going green with 10 laps to go in stage 1. It is Roberts, Wygen, Kissenweather, Pete, Markowski, Meredith, Dustin Hall, Caitlin Height, John Hagan, Tyler Ratliff, your top 10. this is the race that could really shape Championship 8. Bristol next week is another gauntlet, but this one has proved to be quite an adverse race for those marked in gold. Green flag flies. Hagan wasting no time trying to go for positions. Dustin Hall had a bit of wheel spin and falls out of the top 10. So Hagan loses spots still. He loses out to Markowski and to Josh Gaiman. And now he's back to breaking even there, back in 9th. Roberts leads over Kissenweather, Wygant, and Meredith side by side, battling it out. Bryn Roberts, he's been very strong. That number 8 car, not in the Drivers' Championship, Bryn Roberts, but that 8 car is in the Owners' Championship. So Bryn Roberts, despite he's a spoiler for the driver's title, but he is not a spoiler for the Owners' Championship. He is in the mix of that in a huge way. So Bryn Roberts doing his part for Carolina Beagle Racing to try to win the Drivers' Championship, and don't count against him. He is such a good driver, especially on these tracks that burn up tires. We saw him win. We saw him do fantastic earlier this season. We saw him obviously win in Atlanta. Dale Markowski tagged the ball hard, similar to Shad Spotsworth on the tri-oval. He's good at these intermediates. He's good at these tracks that eat up tires. He was great at Darlington. Obviously race winner at Las Vegas. Whoa! Whoa! Dustin Hall with a slide. Still sliding, still sliding, still sliding. No caution, but Josh Gaiman struggling now as well. He goes to the grass and saves it. That was a scary moment for both Josh Gaiman and Dustin Hall. Hall gets rolling again. Josh Gaiman didn't really stop rolling. Car spinning on the infield. Markowski trying to get out of the way, and will do so. We stay green at the moment. We'll see if we can stay that way as Markowski gets back up and running, and we do. Wow. These drivers, if you're not ready for it, it will bite you, this track. In front of the field, they came prepared. Roberts and Kissenweather. 5 race wins this season between the two of them. Zach Meredith, former series champion, shadowing in that 3rd spot, side by side. Hagan and Peach. Hagan up to the top 5, battling for 4th. These two have battled all season long. It ramped up in the championship, in the playoffs, beginning the round of 16 at Darlington. Hagan gets the best of Peach here. Peach trying to respond. And they are the only 2 in the top 10. Josh Arnold, the only one above 20th. That's not in this conversation. Arnold now in the bottom 10. Davis Mill Jr. has made his way up to 18th place. This could be the race that kind of limits this to a 2-horse race in the Championship 8. We're coming to the end of stage 1. So stage points important right now. Top 10 score stage points. 10 points to 1 point. All the way down. Remember, they started level on points. 4,000 for everyone in the top 8. White flag in stage 1. Hagan was wanting that extra point because he knows Hunter Beach is right there behind him. He won't get it, though. He'll have to settle for fourth. He tags the wall at a 4. But stage 1 comes to a close. Kissing Brother, the winner of stage 1. Brent Roberts, second place in stage 1. Only 2 Drivers' Championship playoff drivers in the top 10. Brent Roberts in the Owners' Championship. Remember, when we talk about Brent Roberts, he is not a traditional spoiler. Carolina Beagle Racing in the play for that. Brent Roberts actually getting out of the way there. Trying to back up a little bit, wanting to save tires in that 8 car. Smart move. He got the stage points he wanted, and now it's time to think big picture because we've got another 59 laps until stage 2 ends. And there's a full pit stop in the way of that conversation. Pull up the track stats one more time. I'll probably pull it up later as well. Not sure why I said one more time, but looking at this right now, I see a car that was in the grass. That was Dale Markowski, who has struggled big time. He was trying to come down pit lane, and he missed the pit entry. Fuel mileage, 47 to 49 laps. We think that tire wear is going to dictate the actual pit window, not fuel mileage, but we know the upper limit for those that can stretch it. Josh Gaiman down pit lane as well. The whole field came down pit lane on lap 28. So realistically speaking, they can get up to about lap 75. So they should be able to get through. Those that are pretty early have had struggles. Gabe and Markowski, we've seen them struggle. But everyone else trying to see how close they can get to 75 before making that second pit stop. Hagan has made his way up to the second spot here, but you see him dancing out a little bit. Tags the wall again. Hunter Pete also moving forward a little bit in third right now. Brent Roberts has dropped all the way down to the 6th spot. He got those stage points. He is in hard tire conservation mode. He was pushing hard to get those stage points in stage 1. Now that the page is turned over to stage 2, and it's all about staying in the group with the race leaders without putting yourself behind the 8 ball. I want to take a chance to point out here the 7 of Tyler Ratliff in the top 10 struggles, and a caution out for the 4th time, and it looks like this is going to be a pretty ugly accident here. Alfred Denny involved, and it looks like Austin Mongold had a piece of it as well. But Alfred Denny, you see there on your screen, also got a piece of it. Let's take a look. This is on the outside. Oh no, this is going to be interesting. We'll back it up here and see how this plays out, but it looks like we know sort of how this is going to play. We'll go to our trusty chopper cam. We'll slow it down here. Keep it on the 25. White and red car inside lane near the white line. Teammates between the 21 and the 25. Henderson clips the white line. Starts drifting up the racetrack. And another case of friendly fire, this time on the 21. How did Austin Mongold get a piece of this? He clips the grass trying to avoid it. Gotcha. All right, so Mongold clips the grass trying to avoid it. Smeal gets a piece of it too. Oh no. Jonathan Adams goes for a spin and tags the wall with the right rear hardest. Oh dear. That's right on board with the 31, because this is not going to be friendly. That's on board with David Smeal Jr. This is with Jonathan Adams. Ooh, hard hit there. And so several cars on pit lane under our 4th caution of the night. We're on lap 48. A couple cars did not come down pit lane that time. Casey Wygant and Kyle Tao. They will lead the field of green along with Callie Height in your top 3. We're going to get ready to go back racing here, but we've got about 30 seconds. So we'll step aside and take a quick break and refill our drinks to get through the rest of stage number 2. Don't go anywhere. Ready to go back racing here in the Coulters Cars 400, 4th caution of the night. Coming through our 4th restart, Casey Wygant has led every restart to green. He will lead this one to green as well. Pace car takes the left-hand turn onto pit lane. And away we go. And trouble, Callie Height. And trouble immediately. Caution comes out again for the 5th time, excuse me. And it's a wheel spin from Callie Height. And this is the big one. And that affected just about everybody. And I have a feeling I know how this started. So let's go ahead and jump to the restart, the show of the green flag here, and we'll take a look. This is from the chopper cam. I'll play it in quarter speed, AB in slow motion. Wygant in the 96, Taub in the 16, Callie Height in the 88, center of your screen. Green flag flies. Remember, top 3 did not come down pit lane. They were on old tires. Callie saves it once. Doesn't shift up the second in time. Still wheel spinning, wheel spinning, wheel spinning, wheel spinning. And struggling big time in that process. Up the racetrack. Ooh, hard hit for John Hagan. Clips Austin Mongold there. Gets him to a spin. And this is where it gets ugly. There's Hunter Peach. Nowhere for him to go. Nowhere for Ratliff to go. That is unfortunately a lot of inexperience right there. As we mentioned earlier with the opening lap caution, with the wheel spin, drivers trying to get it in first gear and try, because that's where the better launch can be, is in first gear. But the ideal launch for the pros is you do a half throttle in first gear, do a quick shift to second, and then go full throttle and get the launch you're looking for, because you get the best of both worlds there. You can't just sit in first. And that's exactly what Callie Height did there. Sat way too long in first gear and didn't really get a lot out of it. And we actually see if we can get an onboard here from Callie Height. This is not what we're looking for. There we go. This is a look, and already in second gear looks like here. So that's what old tires does. But you see her fighting it. Wheel spin in third. Wow. And you'll take a look. The third gear, that number in the top right of the dashboard, that's the gear indicator. That's what gear Callie was in. So she was in third gear. She moved up to third and that's when the car spun, was in third gear. So the old tire's even worse than I think I was anticipating there. Having driven this combination before, typically once you get into third and it bogs down, you're okay. For the 88, not the case. Not the case at all. That's obviously even worse than anticipated there. And the two playoff drivers that had been pretty clear of any issues were both collected in that one, Hunter Peach and John Hagan. Peach got the rougher piece of it. And this is helping out Casey Wygen and Kyle Taub as we get ready to go back racing once again. And the green flag flies. Wygen outside lane that time, and he waltzes away with an amazing restart. Thompson second, Kissenweather third, Kyle Taub in fourth, Roberts in fifth, Caitlin Height in sixth, Ross Baxter in seventh as they come out of turn two. 5 cautions and 54 laps. It has been a rough start here in Atlanta. Josh Susie, now the highest placing playoff driver, in the 11th spot. No playoff drivers in the top 10. John Hagan down in 22nd. Carter Sawyer in 12th. Everyone's still rolling, minus Jonathan Adams, who is still on pit lane taking repairs. Bailey Thompson, first podium of the season, came earlier this season. That was in Talladega. Sitting right now in the 3rd spot. The result that would have been needed a week ago. Kissenweather clears himself off the nose of Wygen. But Kissenweather good. He's in the race lead. Wygen in second. Thompson third. Taub in fourth. Meredith in fifth. And it's a shame because I think Kissenweather and Wygen, if we had had them all season long, those two would be battling tooth and nail. They drive pretty similarly. Kissenweather confirming that he is likely done after this season, will not be returning for season 7. Wygen, though, might be part of the long-term plans for Joe Show Racing in the 96 car. He's filled in for that team before. And he fits like a glove in the system. He's in second right now after pole position in qualifying. Bailey Thompson in third, and not really under a lot of duress. There's a line of cars trying to close in. Patrick Overstat, Zach Meredith, and Kyle Taub. But Thompson not under any immediate threat. Meanwhile, your playoff drivers are in the Hornets' nest right now. Caitlin Height in 10th, ahead of teammates Josh Susie and David Steele Jr. They are in the madhouse right now. Same with the 74 of Jeremy Braille. They are all in that cluster right now. 11th, really, 11th to 16th. Susie getting around Height on the outside lane. Ooh, Baxter gets loose again. Oh, trouble! Susie in the wall, and I think that's in front of, that is a 54 of Ratliff. But I think David Steele Jr. got a piece of that as well. 6th caution is out. And that one a little bit more serious than the first for Susie. Let's take a look. This is after it's already happened. Baxter got loose on the outside lane, and Susie was shadowing him. You're going to see how we read this here. Baxter moves from the upper lane to the bottom lane here. He gets loose right there. He is already loose, and he's not running on that seam. He was in between the seams there. Gets loose, saves it. Caitlin Height checks up. She's probably not too happy about that. Susie steps out. Nowhere for Smil to go. Nowhere really for Ratliff to go either. Baxter gets turned away from the accident, so he doesn't join it. And Susie, once again, on the back foot there. Not in a good way. So he's got more extensive repairs to be done here on pit lane as well. Callie Height and John Hagan. Kissenweather will now inherit the race lead ahead of Patrick Oberstadt, Haley Thompson, and Zach Meredith. These drivers are struggling here tonight. Step aside for a quick drink break one more time. They're midway through stage number 2 here in the Coulters Cards 400 in Atlanta. Stay tuned. Welcome back to the Coulters Cards 400 here, the HTL Cup Series Championship 8 beginning here in Atlanta. It has been a rough start. 6 cautions in the opening 60 laps of this race. It has been pretty dramatic, to say the least. Top 5 on this upcoming restart: Mark Kissenweather, Patrick Oberstadt, Zach Meredith, Haley Thompson, and David Smil Jr. in the top 6, alongside Eli Sasek in that 3rd row. Kissenweather choosing the outside lane. That has been the dealer's choice lane all race long for the most part. And Kissenweather will get a good restart. So will Zach Meredith. 17 car gets clear of the 60, and away we go. We're racing once again. Running hard here. Remember, stage 2 does not end until lap 100. We got a long way to go to get to lap 100 here. Starting lap 64. Leads Meredith in 2nd here. Dustin Hall, best lap of the race so far, 30.09 for Dustin Hall. He is trying to charge forward here. David Smil Jr. now the only playoff driver in the top 10, and he is up in the 3rd spot, trying to get around Patrick Oberstadt. He does. So Smil up to 3rd, Dustin Hall up to 5th. car in the fence. I believe that's Sasek. No, it's Flores. 99, not the 9. Saw one of the 9s in the broadcast booth, but it is Flores that is in the fence and struggling. He has got some suspension damage on the back of that car. A little bit askew. So he's going to try to limp back to pit lane. Meanwhile, in front of the field, the battle continues. Kissing Weather ahead of Meredith. Kissing Weather running the middle. Meredith running the outside lane. Meredith gets to the outside. And Meredith gets to the race lead here. Keep an eye on that 31 of Davis Mill Jr. And on the 1, the Dustin Hall. Bailey Thompson goes for a bit of a ride. Got loose out of turn 2. Will drop down to the 18th, maybe 19th spot. As Kyle Taub loses a spot to, there's Eli Sasek, the 9. Ebb and flow of this race. Once again, beginning here as we get ready to approach lap 70. Other side, Weichert and Denny. This is for the 7th spot. And Denny's going to hold on for at least a little bit longer. Weichert came down pit lane most recently on lap 60. Alfred Denny on lap 51, so 9 laps different on the tire wear. That is important. Keep an eye on that later on in this race, the difference in the tire wear, the tire life. Front of the field, those that are leading the way, hit on lap 47. So they're on the even older tires, oldest tires in the field. So Thompson struggling, also hit on lap 47. Sasek losing another spot. He also put on 47. He's down to 11th place. He's been shuffled out of the top 10. That's by Jeremy Brayall, who's moved into the 10th spot. Caitlin Height, who's had several run-ins with Sasek over the years. Now trying to get around for 11th spot, and Sasek gets loose in front of Caitlin Height. Caitlin Height obviously not going to give any quarter to Sasek. Still harboring that grudge from season 3 when Sasek caused a crash that collected Caitlin Height ended her day. And Fontana in that final race of the season for the championship has not let that go. Can't blame her. Races Sasek hard because of it. And Sasek felt the pressure of that through 3 and 4 that last time, and now sits in the 16th spot after getting a little bit loose. But he lives to tell the tale, so he will try to rebound from there. Again, older tires for Sasek on 47, so he will be one of the first ones in, and he gets loose again. So does Dustin Hall, and the caution's out. That is Dustin Hall backwards on the back straightaway. And it looks like Apperson got a piece of it as well, or Apperson was in front of Dustin Hall, I think. We'll take a look. What happened? Oh, we're going to see right here. He's going to snap loose. Look at it in real time. He's battling with Patrick Obersat. Just got ahead of him. Snaps, hits the wall hard. I don't even know if Apperson really got into him that hard, but he gets loose on his own and goes to the outside lane. So cars all over the place. Goodness gracious. And Apperson hard in the fence as well. Actually ends up towing back to pit lane. So Apperson's race might be done. We'll take another look here, and Apperson just gets loose on his own and slams the wall hard on that passenger side, that right side of the car. Yeah, that car is completely crushed on the passenger side. So probably the right call to make there for Apperson to tow that car to pit lane. That's rough. And you see what's left of Dustin Hall's #1 car. It was once his stopping ground has stomped him instead. Brent Roberts stays out. He pit on lap 60. Everyone else coming down pit lane. Josh Gaiman was hoping for a free pass or a lucky a wave around. He will not get it. He will stay off the lead lap. Comes down pit lane this time, knowing he will not get that free pass, that wave around. So it'd be Roberts, Wygant, Braille, Oberstadt, and Kissenweb, your top 5. Interestingly enough, fuel only stops for Wygant, Braille, and Oberstadt. Everyone else took tires on that stop. Seventh caution of the night. And we are beginning to lose cars. We've got 2 retirements in this race. Jonathan Adams and Dale Markowski out of this race. We might have 2 more retirements with Dustin Hall and Zach Apperson. So we've lost, realistically, we've lost 4 of 30 in the first 76 laps of this race. Halfway point is lap 84. Brent Roberts will lead. Casey Wygant in second. Patrick Oberstadt and Jeremy Braille in row 2. Davis Mule Jr. and Mark Kissenweather in row 3. That's Alfred Denny, Zach Meredith, John Hagan, and Kyle Taub in row 5. Stage 2 again ends on lap 100. Stage points on the line at the end of lap 100 for the top 10. Green flag flies. Wheel spin for Roberts. Old tires there. You saw it. Really good look down the start-finish line. And it's going to allow Wygant every opportunity to take the lead of the race away from the 8th. Roberts, though, outside lane. Those tires will come up to speed for him a little bit quicker. Remember, Wygant on fresh tires. Sorry, excuse me, no, he is not on fresh tires. He went on a fuel-only strategy, so he's on scuff tires as well. But no match for Brent Roberts. Despite that wheel spin, he's good. 3 wide, though, Kissenweather. He is on fresh tires. He came down and got 4 fresh tires, so he's going to be in the best spot of the bunch. But he's got to work the hard way. He's got to go to the inside lane. 4 fresh tires. It should not be too awful much of a struggle there for Kissenweather to do so. Same thing for David Smith Jr. in that 31 car, also on 4 fresh tires. They should be able to use that inside lane and get ahead and get that track position. Kissenweather does. He gets to the front of the field. He's now leading. Smil, though, he has to slot in line in 3rd. He's behind Brent Roberts. He's ahead of Jeremy Braille. And here comes John Hagan in the top 5 as well, the 97. Now white and gold Toyota Camry. Everyone's got a limited set amount of tires in this race. This is why some, especially those 3, took fuel only on that stop. They wanted to make sure they were good to go to the stage. Thompson turn. Caution's out. Thompson. Thompson spun around, and this is the 8th caution on lap 80. What was a lack of preparedness for the field on the early cautions is now turning into a lack of patience. Now that we have reached close to the halfway point, we'll cross the halfway point under caution. Lack of patience, I think, is now driving some of these incidents here. And once again, we'll take a look on AVN replay. What happened to the 27 of Bailey Thompson, side by side, 3 wide actually, Henderson in the outside lane, Thompson in the middle, Sasic on the inside lane. This is out of turn number 2. I'll play it in avian slow motion. Sasic drifts up the racetrack. A little bit of net code, but Sasic was going to make contact with Thompson no matter what. As much as Sasic drifted up the racetrack, completely turns to 27. And Thompson counting her lucky stars that she wasn't completely murdered by Sawyer or by Ross Baxter, who went below the white line to avoid. So net code helps out a little bit, but Sasic, as much as he drifted up, was turning Thompson no matter what. So that's still on the 9 car for just not keeping that car low on the racetrack. Knowing they're 3 wide, you hear those 3 wide calls from your spotter. The lack of patience, as we mentioned earlier, going to be a big factor. So it's Kissenweather that leads the way over Bryn Roberts, David Smith Jr., John Hagan, and Zach Meredith, your top 5, bottom of your screen. Those in gold in the Championship 8, and this has been a fluctuating thing. We keep thinking people were out of the championship or out of the championship fight. Behind the 8 ball, Smeal and Hagan have been involved. Every Championship 8 contender has had troubles tonight. And again, we're not even halfway. It's going to be a long evening. Meredith in your top 5. Brayout in 6th. He will be the outside row 3. Cars coming out of pit lane. That was Austin Mongold and Calvi Height coming out of pit lane, getting repairs done. We are 20th and 21st. Josh Susi, a lap down after having to get repairs done. That car is still not perfect. In 22nd position, he's now the first car off the lead lap. He's only 1 lap down. So he is going to be eligible for the free pass if we get another yellow. Apperson's still going. He is multiple laps down, almost 10 laps down at the moment. But he is still rolling. Dustin Hall, likewise, day done with the 1 car. It's been a struggle tonight. Green flag flies. Kissenweather leads. Bryn Roberts across the line. Will spin. Oh no! David Smith Jr. Oh no! 9th caution of the night. And that is the big one. David Smith Jr. You saw that flash. Just spun around immediately on the restart. I think he was right beside Hagan. I think both of them got a piece of it. Oh dear. Ninth caution of the night. We have just crossed the halfway point. So let's take a look. Let's go up to our good old chopper cam. Let's actually see from the spotters here. We got our spotter cam up and going above the broadcast booth here in Atlanta. AB in slow motion, quarter speed. Kissenweather and Roberts, front of the field. See Hagan on the outside row 2. I think Hagan gets away with this. I think he was able to speed away from the 31 before he wheel spins and moves across the track. He does. I don't think Brault is lucky. No, he is lucky. So Brault gets very close, and there's nowhere for Denny to go, nowhere for Henderson to go. Caitlin Height gets a little piece of it, but he gets completely turned out for Denny does. There's Hunter Peach turning him around. Zach Meredith gets hit. Caitlin Height, she gets, I would say she's probably okay. That 3-car, she's probably perfectly fine. Callie Height, she gets clear okay. Apperson, he gets a piece of it. Again, just struggles here. Again, and you look at Caitlin Height right on board with her car. Look back at the 3 because it's going to be very tight. You see on board, let's see again, on board with Caitlin Height here. We'll pull up where she started. Did not set qualifying time. Neither her nor Callie Height set qualifying times, or Josh Susie, or Josh Gaiman. That's most of the Givney Racing Division cars that wrecked out in qualifying. Meredith nowhere to go because Smeal's turning. He's spinning. And Callie Height, close. But she gets through. Did not say that in Fontana last week. But she gets through that one. And we're right on board here. Right on board here with Zach Meredith. He is going to have a not fun time. This is in full speed. Around they go. So we get ready to go back racing. 9th restart of the night. For lap 88. I normally don't do this. Normally there's a bit of decorum that's needed. I'm going to break that for a second since we're almost to 10 cautions in the first 90 laps. If you want to subscribe to us on Twitch here, it helps afford anything I can use to distress. Whether you want to buy a beer, a cup of coffee, anything. Subscribe, please. It's hard. Green flag flies once again here. The Coulters Cards 400. Mark Kissenweather, John Hagan leading the field to green here. Jeremy Braille in 3rd. Down with Kissenweather, going for the race lead. Hagan looking to lead a lap for the first time tonight. He has been in front of the race none of tonight's event. Trying to do just that right now, battling the 12 of Kissenweather. He's going to grab the lead here. You're going to see that number tick over into a 1. Across the line, maybe, yes, he's got that lap. Kissenweather has led 38 laps tonight, so he's had a pretty healthy chunk of the race lead with the first 89 laps of this race. Ben Roberts has led 18 laps as well. Just ahead of them is Blake Henderson and Caitlin Height, who's having latency issues. The 3-car struggling at the moment, middle 3 wide. It is not a great time. A little bit of bumping and rubbing there between the 3 and the 25 as they try to get around Jeremy Braille. And they both do. Henderson gets a little loose. He'll lose spots. And Caitlin Height forces her way through. We're averaging a caution every 10 laps tonight. Uh-oh, watch out for Braille. He goes for a spin. He is backwards. He's going to come to a stop. He is in the infield grass, so we stay green. And importantly, he does not get damage on that race car, so he is going to survive another caution, and I'm sure we're going to get one, and he'll be back in the running. Trouble for Austin Mongold. He has also come to a spinning stop on the infield, but the leaders are coming. You see them in the background. He's got to He's got to get moving quickly. He's tagged the wall. He's got damage on that right side. The field's going through. He's trying to keep it off the racetrack. Kudos to him to try to do so, but he is completely wounded. He has pancaked that right side. And he's going to come back down pit lane. We'll take a look here. This is what happened to Mongol. Out of 4. Slides it, slides it, slides it. No, he had that damage, I think, beforehand. Unless he damaged it in the grass. That jump could have done it. Yeah, he's got some significant damage, though, on that side of the car. He's staying out, so he's gone a lap down. But he's staying out. He's trying to feel it out here. Stage 2 close to coming to a close, and there is 10th caution of the night. And this one is for Hunter Peach and Callie Height. And I think that might be Hunter Peach's night. Callie Height backwards. Hunter Peach's car may be okay. Callie Height's car, we know, will not be as such. Now, what happens here? Oh. So this is a long time coming. So we're going to back this all the way up. We're riding aboard with Callie Height here. So let's go ahead and see if we can get it on board with the 88. There we go. Hunter Peach to the outside lane. Callie tried squeezing into the door. You saw her move to the right, trying to squeeze in, and was not clear. Callie Height, oh, weird spin out in the back, but Hunter Peach spun first. The caution came out for the 20. And Callie Height spun as well, trying to rejoin the racetrack. And round and round you go. So we're averaging a caution every 10 laps still. This is a 10th caution of the night. If there was ever any doubt about whether or not these cars are compatible with Legacy Atlanta, the answer to that question, affirmatively, no. On board the 20. Out of turn number 2. Callie Height moves up the racetrack. Peach didn't move. You saw the lines. Caution comes out. A little bit of damage there for the 20, so he does have some damage on the left side from when he got hit by Callie. But that is repairable. That's flattable. You're able to flatten that. That's a rubber mallet and about a minute of work, and you'll be good to go. He's already back out and running here. He did come down for pit stop service there. That number 20 car. That car looks a little bit better. And we'll get ready to go rolling again. This time with John Hagan at the front of the field, ahead of Caitlin Height, Chad Swatworth, Eli Sasek, and David Smeal Jr. I do want to take the time to appreciate Coulters Cards. They have had a gauntlet thrown at them. They had an amazing time sponsoring our race at Watkins Glen a few weeks ago. On board again tonight, they have had all the drama they could have and then some. The QR code. If you want to support tonight's sponsor, if you're looking to collecting cards, whether you're completing a set or just now getting into the hobby for the first time, they've got everything. If you're looking at sports cards, NFL, NCAA, NBA, MLB, wrestling, both AEW and WWE, NASCAR, IndyCar, and more. We're glad they're on board tonight. See if we can end off stage number 2 in style. 10th restart of the night. John Hagan, Caitlin Height. Chad Spotsworth, Eli Sasek, row 2. Green flag rolls, and away we go. And we are going to throw up a programming alert just for those that are watching here, our broadcast comes to a close at 11 p.m. So there is a hard shutoff time, 11 p.m. Eastern. We've got to be off the air. So we are aware of the time crunch we are under right now with 70 laps to go. John Hagan leads the way. Caitlin Heighton second. David Smoot Jr., despite his ups and downs, back in the top 5. He is in 4th, shadowing Eli Sasek. Car on the fence. That was, I believe, Kyle Tao that was in the fence a little bit, battling with Blake Henderson. White flag in stage 2. Remember, no cautions for the stage breaks. There's no stage breaks the rest of the season. They gotta keep going from here. But Hagan's gonna pick up stage points in mass here. It's gonna help him out significantly in his bid to become a champion in the HTL Cup Series. Caitlin Height missing out on being in the championship 8, had a terrible round of 16, missed 2 races. And Hagan gets those stage points, all 10 of them. Go to John Hagan. Caitlin Height gets 9, Sasek 8, David Smoot Jr. 7, Chad Swatsworth gets 4. .67 laps to go. Again, a caution every 10 laps. What we've seen so far tonight has been a very chaotic and cataclysmic race here in Georgia. For everyone that is subscribing, I'm not able to pay attention to the Twitch chat full time. For those watching live, I appreciate you. I'm going to try to shout out some people here that have decided that they do want to support ABN. I appreciate it. Whether it's been with a follow or with a subscription. Shouting out those that have subscribed. So we appreciate it. John Hagan leads the way. Caitlin Height in 2nd, Eli Sasek 3rd, David Smoot Jr. in 4th. And Casey Wygent back in the top 5. Your pole sitter has had to work his way forward. It has been a race of adversity for everybody in this field. We're on lap 104 of 167. Everyone's got a pit stop to make in this field. Atlanta Motor Speedway. We've gotten through those stages. Field mileage window 47 to 49 laps. Those at the front of the field, penalty lap 74. So they've got a pit stop coming here in a not so distant future. By about lap 120, we should start seeing pit stops for those for top 3. Trouble, Kissenweather. And he is in the fence. He clipped the 6th barrier. Out of turn 2, got loose. Trying to get that car back up and running, but down and now in 19th place. So lap 23, lap 123 for the likes of Hagan, Height, Sasek, who's been lap 74. That lap 130, lap 125 and lap 130 for Casey Wygent and for Patrick Overstat. David Smoot Jr. getting loose there. He's going to get swallowed up in this pack. He's going to drop out of the top 10 like nothing. Oh, huge hit in the fence. That's Wygent. Wygent hard in the fence. Oh, that's a hard hit. He's trying to get that car back to pit lane. I think that car is done. It is done. He's going to come to a stop on the infield there. It will not draw a caution. He hit the wall a ton. He hit the wall an absolute ton. Let's take a look here. This was that battle. We'll go back. I think we went back a lap early there. Trying to keep an eye on Wygen. Keep an eye on the 96, that black number 96 machine. A little loose there. That's what happened initially with David Smeal and Pacey Wygen. That's how Smeal got thrown behind the pack, and that's where Wygen lost some time as well. And we'll watch here, because it is coming through turns 2 this time around that he gets loose and he wallops the outside wall. Just gets loose and just wallops it right in front of Blake Henderson there. He lost steering immediately, too. That's a look at both incidents there. Jamie Brailt's had another issue out of turn 4. There he is. Now rolling through turns 2 again. It has been a disaster tonight. Caitlin Height at the front of the field. Hagan's in the fence. Oh, Hagan's in the wall. He is hard in the wall. He is in trouble, and he is done. Oh, my goodness. What happened to John Hagan? Oh, he just tags the wall hard. Something happened to John Hagan. Oh my goodness, loses it hard and loses it in turn 4 after winning stage 2. That is day done for John Hagan. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Caitlin Height now leads Eli Sassix. Bailey Thompson in 3rd, Patrick Oberstadt in 4th. And then Blake Henderson in the top 5 right now at his home track. Oh my goodness. I have not seen something like that happen in a while. That was a devastating hit for John Hagan, and that's going to put him behind the 8 ball. He's got some stage points that'll soften the blow. But he is going to drop out of the top 20. And he's going to have work to do in Bristol next week. We talked about it earlier in this race. John Hagan did not look comfortable. And that was the pinnacle of not being comfortable. Loose in 3 and 4 and smacks the wall hard and into an instant retirement for John Hagan. Here comes Sassel. Both of them, same pit stop time. They both came in on lap 74. They both got to come in before lap 125. And these two are not friendly to each other. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! That was uncalled for. That was absolutely uncalled for. 11th caution of the night. Absolutely uncalled for. Another thing we mentioned earlier, the bad blood between Caitlin Height and Eli Sassig, mostly one-sided. And you see the side that it's on. Uncalled for. Eli Sassik's day's done. And the 3 car should be too. We'll take a look at the replay, but it's pretty cut and dry here. I'll back it up here because they were battling side by side. Sasa got to the race lead. Katie gets to the outside of Sasek. Just straight up hooks him. And I know the reason why Katie and the whole Kidney Racing Division team, they're out at the end of the season. That should be an early pack it up. Just because you're leaving in 3 weeks does not give you the ability and the excuse to just wreck somebody just because you want to. That is poor sportsmanship to the letter. That's embarrassing, and I feel bad. That's not racing. Eleventh caution of the night. We're coming to a restart here. That will see Patrick Overstat lead Zach Meredith. Overstat, Meredith, Smeal, and Thompson, your top four. th caution of the race, coming to our 11th restart, with coming to 49 laps to go. Trying to block Henderson. Remember, Henderson at his home track. Davis Mill Jr. now the best driver in the Championship 8. Business and sentiment powering the top 5 at the moment, but it's Patrick Overstat leading the way by a healthy margin across our finish line here. Meredith in second. Roberts back up into the top 5. He is in 5th, getting around Bailey Thompson. Al Virginia in 7th, Mark Kissenweather in 8th, Josh Arnold in 9th, and then a battle in the top 10 between Hunter Peach and Shad Slotsworth. And Jerry Brailed in 12th there as well. Watching as the field tries to get back into a rhythm here in stage 3. It is difficult. It is extremely difficult for some of these drivers to get into a rhythm because we've not had those long runs. We've averaged a caution every 11 laps. So we've not had no green flag pit stops. You see everyone up near the fence there. You saw the dust flying off near the wall. Everyone's struggling now. It's becoming clear that it's more than just a getting up to speed issue with this car here at Old Atlanta. But there are some that are handling it better than others. Obviously, Davis Smith Jr., he's had adversity, but he's in the top 3. He's rebounded. He's continued to rebound nicely as this race has gone along. was a conversation on whether or not this car would work at this track before the season started. This was last year. And Blake Henderson getting loose. Thompson got loose as well. It was very iffy back when the schedule was put together late last year on if Old Atlanta would be up to code. The most recent update, I think, we can kind of safely say, has made this track unviable for the 7th gen car. The flat for this car, just the way this car needs to be driven, the way this car is designed to be driven, they no longer match up. And we're seeing that on full display. What you could have probably gotten away with last year, you can't get away with now. Arguably, what you could have probably gotten away with back in May, you can't get away with now. We've seen so much of this car change. And you're seeing that effect here. 10 of the 11 cautions, you can argue, well, it is a difficult situation, is a product of the package we've got, of the combination we're seeing right now. Only one of those cautions I can say has genuinely, truly been avoidable. And that's being the most recent one. But you look at the timing screen, you look at the tower on the left side of your screen, there's 18 cars on the lead lap. And there we go, a car spun around. That is Peach and Brill. 2 more Championship 8 drivers in trouble. Peach stuck on the inside of the racetrack. He's going to go a lap down pretty quickly. Oh no, spun back around trying to get this car back and going. And there's the yellow. He was trying to get that car rolling again. Got off of the transition off the apron and it looped on him again. Second time he's had that issue on the back straightaway. He has struggled pretty massively. 12th caution, and we're averaging a caution still every 10, 11 laps. So let's take a harder look at what happened here. This is at a turn 2, and we'll grab the chopper cam for this one. And we'll do it in quarter speed, AB in slow motion, and that's just Peach getting loose. Tags the wall, I think, a little bit there. Gets loose. Peach just loose, drifts down the racetrack there in front of the 74 Braille, who was in the middle lane pretty healthily. And unfortunately, nothing for Braille to do there, and Peach along for the ride. He was along for the ride in turn 2, and it finally just broke away from him. There isn't a safe lane on this racetrack. We know that. And you see he's trying to gun it. He's trying to get it going so that they can avoid the yellow. But in trying to gun it while getting off the apron, he spins it on that transition. And 18th place is where he'll end up being. He was going to be there no matter what. Even if he went a lap down, he would be there. Because Zach Apperson and Josh Gaiman, Apperson getting the free pass, is now 7 laps down. Josh Gaiman is 8. Callie Height, who is still running, just past John Hagan for 22nd. Tucker up to 23rd. Not in contention under any circumstance to do much of anything unless we get a lot more trouble, which we really can't afford to have. You look at this list of retirements. The Sasek basically done. Tucker Sawyer basically done. Casey Wygen basically done. Dustin Hall done. Ratliff done. Flores done. Adams done. Markowski done. Ugly, ugly, ugly race here in Atlanta. 12th caution of the night. Step aside and recollect ourselves before the final 37 laps of, hopefully, regulation. Don't go anywhere. We appreciate you tuning in tonight here in Atlanta. It's been a wild one here in the championship. Welcome everyone to the Coulters Cards 400. We are deep in this race here, coming to 37 laps to go in old Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is a case of not meeting your heroes and things not aging the way your nostalgia glasses probably told you they would. It has been an ugly one. 12 cautions coming to our 12th restart of the night. Top 5, bottom of your screen, David Smoot Jr. and Bailey Thompson, front of the field. Getting ready for this restart. Over Clavitt, Denny, and Meredith, your top 5. 37 laps to go. Green flag flies, and here we are. David Smoot Jr. trying to go back-to-back on race wins. Let's see if he can do it. Clavitt tagged the wall. Thompson gets clear. Denny in fourth, trying to get the third, will not do so. Clavitt recovers. Here comes Meredith. Here comes Henderson. Gets some other in 7th. Swatsworth in 8th. 3 wide, further back. That's Arnold, Caitlin Height, and Hunter Peach. Swatsworth ahead of the bunch. 18 cars on the lead lap. Car in the fence. That was the second OnlyFans car. That would have been Callie Height. Callie Height, who has struggled here, but has been one of many that have struggled. Callie Height still pushing because of the chance, if another caution or if another driver retires, that Callie Height can get back into the top 20. And that's worth fighting for. And it's a safe bet that we're going to have another car fall out of this race here before we get to the end. Now up near the fence, up in the wall. He'll drop a couple spots. He loses out to Arnold, Swatsworth, and Jeremy Braille. Braille there, the inside lane, the 74 car. Arnold in the 2, Taub in the 16, Overstat in the 60. They are battling over the top 10, getting into it. And Josh Arnold's going to get into the top 10 with support from Patrick Overstat. And you look at that gaggle of cars just outside the top 10. Bren Roberts, his race has kind of gone down the tubes. Josh Gaiman not on the lead lap. He is 8 laps down, but he is fighting because he's also looking for positions. It's been an ugly night in Atlanta. I think one that a lot of people are going to remember for a while. Bailey Thompson, in a wild moment, has taken the lead here in Atlanta for the first time tonight. Sorry, second time tonight. Bailey Thompson has led laps. We've had so many cautions, I don't know if I've remembered who's led how many, but Thompson's now led 5 laps, so my apologies there. Thompson's led a little bit tonight. And that 27 car has seen the gauntlet, has been around backwards, has been a couple incidents, but has also had pace. Thompson's had a couple of flu game moments, and this is one of them. I would say collectively, probably the Lance Stroll of the HTL field in terms of just how performance has been. There's some random moments where Thompson has been unbeatable. Michigan, Talladega, a couple of those moments. Apparently Atlanta's one of them. New Atlanta was not kind to Thompson earlier this season. Old Atlanta apparently faring a lot better for the 27 car, faring a lot better for the 25 as well. He got a little loose there at a turn 4 that last time around, but he is in the top 10. He has been top 10 practically all day. Blake Henderson right now in 9th place, battling with Caitlin Height. Those two have battled on and off throughout the season, and they're battling again here. Dean Clavitt in 2nd, Davis Smoot Jr. trying the inside lane, trying to work the space there to get back to the front of the field. It won't happen. He stays 3rd. And Bailey Thompson not driving away. Here comes Clavit and gets in the 27. Clavit's in there really hard. Remove Thompson from the lead of the race. Thompson's not going to be happy about that. Wouldn't blame her. And it allowed David Smoot Jr. to get on through, as it did Zach Meredith. So Clavit still lost a spot in that attempt, but it moved Thompson out of the top 5 altogether. This has, I think, been a race where vendettas are coming out to shine here. Caitlin Height gets loose at a turn 2, saves it, but drops out of the top 10. Been ugly, ugly, ugly tonight. Coming to 27 laps to go, though. The end is in sight. The issue is that everyone's got a pit stop to make. And trouble. Trouble in the field, and this is a huge accident. Henderson's in it big time, as is Zach Apperson. Patrick Oberstadt in it big time as well. Hunter Peach, he was not involved in it. He's good. Patrick Oberstadt in trouble. 13th caution of the night. Well, let's take a look why. And this is front straightaway. This is going through across our finish line. So let's take a look. Oh, Henderson gets loose. Does he get help from Braille? Let's take a look here. Does he get help from Braille? Let's go to a shopper cam here. He is getting pushed out of turn 4 by Braille here. So he is getting a little bit of help. Let's ride on board the 74 of Braille. Right to the bumper of him here. And I don't think Braille, I think, helps start it. Obviously, he gets into it. Riding on board with him. I think he pushes him out of the corner. Henderson just loses grip, and he just doesn't ever get it back. That's odd. See if we can get another look here from high above. Let's actually take a follow through with the chopper cam here. Henderson, I think, gets loose on his own out of 4, and that's where the contact comes in initially. Yeah, he gets loose. Yeah, but he gets loose before Braille gets to him. We saw that there. Braille gets off of him. Gaiman moves to the inside lane. Yeah, Henderson just never gets traction back. He's dancing the entire way across our finish line. Nowhere for Oberstadt's got nothing he can do. He gets clipped from behind. Gaiman gets very lucky that doesn't get a lot worse for him. He doesn't even hit the wall there. Very lucky for him. Caitlin Height almost T-bones Henderson. Very similar to what happened back in Darlington. Yep, that's a hit for Apperson, trying to blaze through below the white line instead of slowing down correctly. And he clobbers his teammate and ends his run at his home race. And that's not the first time that's happened between the 4 and the 25. That's happened quite a few times this season. It's not been pleasant. And it's a lot of cars once again on pit lane. Jimmy Braille going to keep himself going. He is 16th, last car on the lead lap to keep the pace car out. And it looks like he is not going to. Braille will be stuck a lap down, I believe. He is going to be stuck a lap down. So he'll be the first car a lap down. Henderson still in pit lane, as well as Patrick Oberstadt. Zach Apperson still in pit lane. Oh, dearie, dearie, dearie. What a night. Meredith, Smeal, Swatsworth, Flavitt, Denny, Kissenweather are top 6. For our 13th restart of the night on lap 145. Coming up, 15 cars on the lead lap. From Meredith down to Josh Susie. First car a lap down, only car 1 lap down is Jeremy Braille. They've effectively lost half the field. And the green flag flies. Side by side, Meredith moves Smeal up a little bit, gets to the race lead. Dean Clavis shadowing. Very important to kind of look at this. Talk about this with Zach Meredith. He has had an amazing run once the postseason began. Despite being outside the postseason and being out of the playoffs, he has been outstanding and frantic. He's finished on the podium 3 times over the last 5 races, trying to break a winless streak going all the way back to season 3. Missed 6 races and missed out on the playoffs by 20 points. So he's had a good season. Just hasn't broken through and broken that winless streak. That might happen tonight. You talk about David Smeal Jr., who won for the first time last week in Fontana. His stats, not super impressive. You look at his records, 3 top 5s, 10 top 10s. First win came last week. He largely was under the radar as one of the underperforming cars for Gibney Racing Division. But here he is in the Championship 8, and in a race where everyone's had struggles and everyone's had problems, he has had the least amount, and he's recovered from them the best. And that's sort of how this plays out. And you're going to need that again next week in Bristol. And then you look at Dean Clavitt, 1 career win. It's been a while since Dean Clavitt's been in victory lane, all the way back to season 3 for Dean Clavitt. He's been part-time on and off ever since. Battling with Zach Meredith, 17th and 18th in points there for both of them. Look at the starts there, 10 more starts for Meredith. And a championship to boot. He leads the way. Chad Swatsworth, he won here back in season 2. It's been a while since we've been at Old Atlanta for good reason. We've seen that tonight. The Swatsworth showing that he has still got it. Doesn't matter what generation of car you're using, he is quick. He is in the top 4, his 108th career start, looking for his 5th career win. Can he go and win here in Atlanta? He's won earlier this season already. And Clavitt gets loose at a 4, and he goes for a wild ride. Swansworth up to 3rd, Clavitt for an insane tumble. Saves it. But he goes for an incredible spin. Locks it up, trying to avoid it hitting the wall there. And Meredith goes for a ride. Meredith goes for a spin out of 2, gets loose on his own. Trouble for Clavitt, trouble for Meredith, and now it's Smeal and Swansworth once again. The 2 drivers that have had the least amount of trouble in this race are now 1st and 2nd. Kissenweather in 3rd, Robertson 4th, Thompson back up in the top 5. Both Clavitt and Meredith got rolling again. They're good. They're safe. Less than 20 to go. Smeal's feeling the pressure from Swansworth. Felt the pressure last week in Fontana. Swansworth couldn't do anything. Ended up losing the podium, trying to go for the race win. Similar situation right now. Someone who seemed like a dark horse going into the round of 16 and into the round of 8. There was the doubts on whether Smeal could do it again. Right now he's doing it. Everyone's had adversity, everyone's had problems, everyone's been frustrated and impatient tonight. It's how you handle it, it's how you overcome that, it's how you compartmentalize and process it all. Smeal, he has got almost half a second right now on Swatsworth. I don't think Swatsworth's got a whole lot right now to answer to Smeal. Remember, so many of these cars have damage. There's no fast repairs. Some leagues give you a fast repair sort of as a bailout. That's not here. So they're all carrying something. They've all got battle scars. Swatsworth goes to the white line. He's trying to find where Smeal's not. Gets him clean air on the nose of that Toyota. A little bit of trouble for Susie further back. He is out of the top 10. He is in 12th. But he kept it pointed straight in the right direction and didn't go below the white line, so we're good. Kissenweather struggling to find a way around Swatsworth. Here comes Bryn Roberts in 4th. 12 laps to go. The clock is ticking. There's a cluster of 13 cars battling for position right now. Clavitt on an island, Meredith on an island. Braille, the first car lap down, hoping for a yellow. Denny gets loose. Alfred Denny gets loose and goes to the grass. Keeps it straight, doesn't use all of the grass in the infield. But he will drop down to 13th. And his chance of going back-to-back on the top 5s, it just went away. Caitlin Height up to 5th, shadowing Kissenweather. Swatsworth in 2nd, has closed in a little bit, about a 10th. Roberts pressuring Swatsworth here. They are closing in on the 31. So Swatsworth beginning to get that inside lane to work. This is going to be very interesting. We've had 14 cautions tonight. It's been a very sluggish race. But just like with Vegas, we make it a pretty electric finish. 9 laps to go at the line. Less than a 10. 2 car lengths. 4 car lengths separate the top 3. Swatsworth on the bottom. He is staying true to that. Smeal beginning to lose the touch on the right front. That's where he's beginning to struggle. He's beginning to lose that right front just a little bit. Swatsworth runs up a racetrack just a little bit in turn 3 and 4. Kissenweather goes to the bottom of the racetrack. They are nose to tail, bumper to bumper. Swatsworth gets to him, overlap into turn 1. Five cars under a blanket. 2 of them battling for a driver's championship, 3 of them battling for an owner's championship. Bryn Roberts not in the driver's fight, but in an owner's fight. And again, side by side. So close between the top 5. Smeal holding on at the moment. Bryn Roberts trying to pose a risk as well. Is Swatsworth beginning to lose that right front of his? He might be. He's also lost help. Bryn Roberts thinking of the race win on his own. Caitlin Height, 17 career wins. She's in the top 5. Controversial tonight for the 3 car at least. HTL staff will have to look at the incident between her and Eli Sasek at the end of the race. Caitlin Height was on probation going into tonight. Coming to 5 laps to go. Caitlin Height looking for career win number 18 in the series. Everyone's in this tight little group. You see puffs of smoke, cars struggling. That's Clavitt that's up ahead. About to become a lap down. Struggling mightily right now. 6 cars in a blanket. More cars trying to join this fight once again. That was Pete that tagged the wall there just a second ago. Getting passed by Arnold, getting passed by Taub. Susie back in the top 10 as well. complete opposite from the beginning of this race when 5 of the championship 8 were in the bottom 10. They're now in the top 10. Swatsworth side by side with David Smeal. They're 2 by 2. Get some other backs out of it. I think 31's beginning to lose his tires just a little bit. He does. He loses big time. Roberts loses it big time too. Swatsworth gets clear. 3 laps to go, and Swatsworth, who won this race back in season 2, only to finish second in the championship to Matthew Boone. Smeal on the fence. How does this shift things? To kick off the championship 8, coming to 2 laps to go. Swatsworth trying to ride into the sunset. He's got a huge chance of the championship right now. He's just got to hold on for less than 3 miles. And then try to do it again at Bristol next week, in Kentucky in 2 weeks. Kissenweather going to try to reel him in. Coming to the white flag. 1 lap to go, presented by Henderson Graphics. It is in the hands of Shad Swatsworth, who won this race almost 4 years ago. It was his very first career win in HTL. And the 6th generation car. As a rookie. As time flies, the more things change, the more they stay the same through 3 and 4 for the final time. Shad Swatsworth kicks off the championship 8 in the best way possible. He wins again in Atlanta. He conquers the old racetrack and cements his position as a championship contender. Mark Kissenweather finishes 2nd. Caitlin Height finishes 3rd ahead of David Smeal Jr. Bailey Thompson rounds out the top 5. And the race, mercifully, after 14 cautions and 167 laps, comes to a close. And we head to Bristol for 250 more next Monday. And Swatsworth gets to celebrate his 5th career win. Huge celebrations there, congratulatory bump there by Blake Henderson. And Shad Swatsworth gets to burn it down in your Team Conti winning moment. Shad Swatsworth, 5th career win, 2nd in Atlanta. Drove the wheels off that Toyota late. It did an outstanding job here tonight. We'll hear from podium finishers, go over the race results here in just a moment. As Shad Swatsworth celebrates in earnest a hard-earned victory here in Georgia. We'll step aside for a quick 30-second break. Don't go anywhere. More coverage coming after this. Welcome back, everyone, to post-race coverage for the Coulters Cards 400. We have to talk to our podium finishers here in just a moment. Before we do so, we're going to go over the race results here tonight. An outstanding job for Shad Swatsworth, your race winner. We'll hear from our podium finishers again momentarily. Your top 12 as things sit in this race: Shad Swatsworth, Mark Kissenweather, Caitlin Height. Your top 3, we'll hear from all 3 of them, hopefully. David Smeal Jr., Bailey Thompson, your top 5. Bren Roberts in 6th. Josh Arnold 7th. Kyle Taub, 8th. Hunter Peach and Josh Susi, your top 10 is how they round out there. Remember, those marked in gold are in the Championship 8. It was a very tumultuous race for all of the Championship 8 drivers. Chad Swatsworth ends up with the race win here in Atlanta. Ross Baxter misses out in the top 10. Finishes where he started in 11th. Austin Mongold rounds out the top 12. In 13th place, Alfred Denny, ahead of Zach Meredith and Dean Clavitt. All 15 of those drivers finished on the lead lap. Jimmy Braille, the first driver off the lead lap, finishing 16th. Josh Gaiman, 8 laps down in 17th place. Retirements, there's a lot of them. Most of the bottom 12 are retirements unless they finished, some odd 20 laps down. Blake Henderson, a retirement. Callie Height was on the racetrack at the finish. Tucker Sawyer was not. He was out of this race in 20th place. Eli Sasek out of this race in 21st. Patrick Oberstadt out in 22nd. Apperson out in 23rd. John Hagan out in 24th. Casey Wygant, Dustin Hall, all these drivers out of this race. 25th and 26th, 27th, Tyler Ratliff, Elias Flores in 28th, Jonathan Adams, and Dale Markowski. All your top 3 did not finish this race, crashing out early among many of the 14 cautions tonight. We do get to talk to our podium finishers here. It's going to be interesting to hear everyone's thoughts here on this race. So let's go ahead and move along to our 3rd place finisher here tonight, Caitlin Height, who was in the running for race win of her career number 18. That was a very wild race. Caitlin, walk us through it. What was that race like for the number 3 car tonight?
Really just trying to make sure that the right rear was able to stay underneath me. I don't know how many cars I've seen just turn dead left all night long. Played a little bit of bumper cars with other people's doors and bumpers and everything else tonight, like cars wrecking on restarts and then just big wrecks happening right in front of me and I got maybe 3 inches of air by cutting through the grass at one point to avoid something, but yeah, nothing short of an eventful race. Just kind of wish there was a little bit more green to be had, but the final run there was just so much fun between, Bailey, Mark, I know Bren was up there, David, like 6 of us going for a win, and we were all just trying different lanes and whatnot, and I had just realized that final run was the first time all night my right front had worn out more, just because going at the very end there, everyone's just going hard, and surprisingly just really, really fun.
Obviously, a lot of controversy tonight, something that a lot of people took interest in, the contact with Eli Sasek at the beginning of stage 3 as you two are battling for the race lead. Not the first time the 9 and 3 have made contact throughout both your HTL careers. This goes all the way back to season 3. Walk us through that sort of moment there and your perspective on how that all unfolded.
Well, all night long it was, I would look up in my mirror and he'd be coming up behind me and just trying to get my car loose all night long. We did that a little bit back and forth throughout the night, which, eye for an eye, and then I get a run on his outside and we're getting closer and closer to turn 1, and I mean, you've seen me with every other car. Whenever I'm on the inside, I'm leaving so much space entering corners, and then I don't know, he just decided to try and run me into the wall, and I can't go anymore until, I can't go out anymore. I'm going to hit the wall, and I chose not to hit the wall. Simple as.
Well, obviously, it works out for you here tonight. 3rd place in Atlanta, and you get to be a part of that amazing 6-car fight at the end. 2 races to go. Obviously, not in the championship conversation now. Looking to play spoiler. Bristol up next, and then Kentucky to end out the season. Going into these last 2 races, we've seen how frantic this car has been post update back in June. What is the expectation going into the last Coliseum next Monday?
I have no idea what to expect for Bristol. love Bristol, but I have no idea what to expect for it. Hopefully it doesn't turn into an absolute slugfest, but I'm not going to hold my breath. But I traditionally run really well at Bristol, and sure, I'm not in it for a driver's championship, but I still have an owner's championship to think about.
You did a great job tonight getting on that podium, finding that 3-car all the way forward after crashing in qualifying. Before we let you go, let you celebrate the podium and get ready for Thunder Valley next Monday. If there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Take it away.
First, I want to shout out Callie for painting up the car tonight. Hopefully it gave some content for everybody to enjoy. Everyone at Gimney Racing Division and all their hard work. I know a lot of them had ups and downs tonight, and for us to come out here and finish on and up is pretty big. Want to thank you for the broadcast and putting it on for us and all to see. I know that I should probably hurry up because you have to be out of here at 11, and all the admins at HTL for putting up with us week in and week out. And shout out to Shad. He really clawed back there from what happened at the very beginning. Amazing drive from him.
Absolutely an outstanding job for Shad Swathworth. A great job for you as well, Katie, tonight. Third place here in Old Atlanta, despite the 14 caution chaos here in Georgia. Enjoy the week and hopefully enjoy some racing that is not as chaotic as tonight has been.
I'm going to Chicago Street on Wednesday. It's going to be just as chaotic.
Oh, so you're in for the long haul then. Well, and in that place, you're going to be perfectly ready for all the chaos that comes in Bristol next Monday. So we'll let you enjoy the week that comes up and enjoy the time that you're not spent under caution over the next 7 days.
All right, thank you.
That was Caitlin Height, your third place finisher tonight. Unfortunately, I do not believe that Mark Kissenweather is available for an interview here tonight. Would love to have talked to him. I believe that is just not going to be the case. So we will go ahead and move forward to talking to Shad Swathworth here in just a moment and gather his perspective. Nope, never mind. He is available. So we'll go ahead and talk to Mark here a little bit late there, I guess, debriefing with his team, Militia Racing Club there. So we'll go ahead and we'll talk to Mark here. Mark, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. Do you got a copy?
I got you.
That was a wild turn of events here tonight. Second place, though, I think can't be upset given how bad some drivers had it tonight. Walk us through your perspective, though, in that number 12 car from Militia Racing Club.
I was hauling the mail the whole race. Had a really good car. I felt like I was the best car once Hagen got wrecked out. I led the beginning part, got the stage win. It's only like I don't even know, only a handful of them. But no, my car felt perfectly fine. I got loose once or twice on the exit from the middle. But other than that, I felt great.
This track, it seemed like if you either had it put together and you were good from the onset, or you never had it at all. Obviously, your car was good tonight. You led over 40 laps tonight. That car was pretty hooked up. Walk us through how this track was so difficult for some tonight, because, again, you had it pretty well put together, but it seemed like there was a good half of the field that didn't, and you saw the 14 cautions tonight. Definitely kept everyone on their toes.
Oh yeah, it's just throttle control really. It was tight behind cars like through the first half of the turn, and then on exit it just would step away from me if you didn't if you just didn't mash the gas on exit. If you just had throttle control, you save tires pretty well.
Obviously, it worked out for you here. You were a part of that fight. You're part of the top 5 basically all night long here, and it pays off here with a second place. You're battling there for your 4th career win in the HTL Cup Series here, and you get to see your teammate finish 1-2 with you there here in Atlanta. Walking through Bristol, obviously, a horrible month of June sees you out of the championship conversation. You're still Rookie of the Year for Season 6. But with Bristol coming up next Monday, what's the thought process going into Thunder Valley?
Based off of this race, I think just survive. Everybody is super aggressive. It's almost the end of the year, so everybody's just trying to get the most they can for the points and ownership stuff. So just run my race, let everybody else do stupid stuff.
Well, it worked out for you here tonight. You were up and clear of most of the melee all night long, and you get to be part of a 1-2 finish once again with Militia Racing Club here in Atlanta. Before we let you go and let you obviously get ready for everything coming up here over the next 7 days, as we head to Bristol next Monday, if there's anyone to shout and say thank you to, the floor is yours. It's been phenomenal watching the 12 car, whether being on track with it this season or watching it from the broadcast booth. It's been phenomenal seeing it. We got a couple more races here to see that number 12 car can get back in victory lane.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get it back in victory lane, but I'd like to thank Coulters Cards, Tub Graphics, Go Time Cards. Shout out to Shad getting the win tonight, and shout out to Militia Racing Club just fighting adversary the whole race.
An outstanding job for Mark Kissenweather, finishing in the second spot tonight and part of the Militia Racing Club 1-2 there. Mark, enjoy the podium, and we'll see you again next Monday in Bristol.
All right, thank you.
That was Mark Kissenweather, our second place finisher here tonight. And now we'll go ahead and see if we can talk to our race winner who had an outstanding run tonight. Chad, this is Carmen from the ABN booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Wow. The more things change, the more they stay the same. The last time we were here, back in season 2, you were the driver that won this race. You were bound for a championship then, finished second in the championship there. Now you win again, and the stakes are a little bit higher this time. But that 18 car looked outstanding. Walk us through that race for you, Shad, and what it feels like winning here again 4 years later and going for a championship once again.
Oh, then the race did not start very well. I mean, that restart, somebody spun up in the front. I got clipped, got like 2.5 minutes of damage, and I thought my night was just going to be salvage what I could and move on to next week. Could only get it like 50 seconds repaired each caution. Finally was able to get it down to where I only had like 8 seconds, and then could start making my way finally up through the field. By the end of stage 2, I was up there like top 5, finished I think 7th in stage 2. And I knew at that point, like, I wasn't at a tire deficit. I wasn't at a wheel deficit, because for majority of that first, 2 stages, my wheel was pointed at like 10 o'clock. My tire wear was terrible, of course, with that happening. And once I finally was able to get it all fixed, I just started working my way up, and I knew, like, I love this track. I love the fact that it just burns up tires, that it's loose. If you get onto the throttle too much, you got to have that eggshell under the gas. And I just knew eventually, if I could get the track position after finally getting the car fixed and getting on the same set of tires, that I could have a shot at this. Now, Meredith, he was extremely quick. My teammate Mark was also really quick. He helped me out there at the end, just giving me the bumps to try to get me in front of the 31 car, because running the bottom, I could not get the run with him squeezing me. And finally, he gave me that middle groove, and that's what I've been running all night. And once he gave that to me, I finally was able to get side by side, and eventually, after a couple laps, got by him, and then just set sail and hoped that there wasn't going to be a caution.
And you got your wish. You got to see this race end under regulation there and led your teammate Mark to a 1-2 for Militia Racing Club with 3 races to go. 2 races remain. We know how important these 2 races are going to be. Thunder Valley next Monday, Kentucky to end off the season. You've been strong at points in both. You're a little bit stronger at Kentucky. But now you have the advantage of having the momentum on your side, of having a race win in your pocket here going through these next 2 races. How do you try to replicate this in Thunder Valley, knowing it's going to probably be another slugfest like tonight was?
I mean, Bristol next week, I've always had pretty good runs there. I haven't won there, but I've seemed to get top 5s or top 3s every time that HTL seems to go there, as long as I don't get caught up in anybody else's mess. So, I mean, I like it. I can find my rhythm there, especially if we can get a green flag run and it doesn't turn into a slaughterhouse, which is saying a lot right now, the way some of these people are driving. But I feel good going into Bristol, Kentucky. I love that track. It reminds me of a backwards Texas. It's just for some reason I can't find the speed at Kentucky like I can at Texas. But with this points, I'm picking up tonight. If I can have a good run next week at Bristol, then I feel like I could just get a solid run at Kentucky, and the cards might fall my way. So. Obviously rolling on a high right now, getting this win. I felt like the only other win I had this season at Richmond was kind of a gift with people wrecking in front of me. And then last week I was strong, fighting with the 31 again, and cautions came out and I couldn't get it done. But tonight, it stayed green. I was able to work on him and eventually get by him. So I feel great going into next week. I just hope that guys and girls are respectful of, these playoff drivers and what's on the line for us, and, maybe not push the issue so much to where it just turns into a wreck fest.
We were close to that here tonight. Hopefully next week goes a little bit better in Bristol. Shad, before we let you celebrate your win fully, if there's anyone to shout out and say thank you to, the floor is yours. Congrats on your 5th career win and your 2nd here in Atlanta.
Thanks to Militia Racing Club. The boys and me, they had to keep my spirits up after I got involved in that wreck, and Mark definitely helped me out there at the end, and I'm glad that it seemed like all 4 of us had a pretty decent run tonight. Thanks to you putting on these broadcasts every week. I know it's not easy. I used to do it too, and sometimes when these things turn into wreck fest, it's not a joy to be up there in the booth calling these races. So thanks, to you for doing these. And, thanks to Blake, Alfred behind the scenes, dealing with all these personalities and some of these children that are in this league that just cause major headaches. But thanks for them for keeping this league going for, what is this, the 6th season, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So, thanks to them. And thanks for everyone that tuned in and watched. I hope they enjoyed that. That was definitely fun for me there at the end, getting to battle that out and, working over a driver. And I'm glad the 31 and I, kept it clean, and hopefully everyone enjoyed that.
It was an electric finish here tonight. Shad Swatsworth, 2nd race win here in Atlanta, nearing his 1st career win back in season 2. Shad, enjoy the race win, and we'll hopefully be able to talk to you again next week in Bristol. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was Shad Swatsworth, your race winner here tonight. And we'll go over the top 12 once again. They're on your screen right now. Shad Swatsworth, Mark Kissenweather, and Caitlin Height. We talked to all 3 of them here this evening. David Smoot Jr. and Bailey Thompson round out your top 5. Bren Roberts, Josh Arnold, Kyle Taub, Hunter Peach, and Josh Susi round out your top 10. With some work to do going into Bristol on Monday next week. Ross Baxter, Ross Mongold, they ran out your top 12 here in Atlanta. We hope you join us. We have more racing to come on Wednesday right here on Twitch, 8 p.m. It is the ABN US 500, ABN Champ Car Racing at Michigan. Going to be a lot of fun. High speed, high stakes racing, the last race before the summer break on Wednesday night. Again, that's right here on Twitch, 8 p.m. Eastern. And then we're racing on Saturday, doubleheader action. It is the VRR Energizer Super Cup. GTE cars are back in style. They start racing Saturday, 2 p.m. right here on Twitch. Also on Twitch at 8 p.m., it is the ARCS High Octane Series. They are deep in their playoff run as well this summer. Join us on Saturday for both those races. Again, 2 p.m. for VRR Super Cup and ARCS High Octane at 8 p.m. On behalf of everyone here for HTL, for Coulters Cards, the HTL Cup Series, and everyone here at ABN Studios, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you on Wednesday from Michigan. So long, everybody.